Oh my goodness, this is it. This is the day where your life changes forever, the same way mine did 27 years ago. Hey, I'm Eric Bourassa, and today I'm going to teach you your very first guitar lesson. All right, so this is it. You've decided you're gonna play guitar. Let's just dive right in. First, we're going to start with how to sit and hold the guitar, then tuning. Then I'm gonna give you your first chord, and then we're gonna do our first riff, either or. So how you hold your guitar is really important. One thing I notice with beginner guitar players is that sometimes they don't set their guitar in the proper place at the proper angle. So you want to set the guitar on your right leg if you're right-handed, or your left hand if you're left-handed. So if you've got a right-handed guitar, boom. Here's the deal. Whichever hand is your strumming hand, set the guitar on the leg of that side of your body. Okay, so I have my picking hand is my right hand. Guitar sits on my right leg. Now, we don't want the headstock pointing down. You need it straight or even angled up a little bit. So if you've got a guitar strap, get the guitar strap to where it's going to kind of hold it in place. In fact, I'm going to shorten my guitar strap here. So now it's almost kind of hanging. You can actually see it's floating a little bit above my right leg. This is going to be the easiest way to hold your guitar. If you don't have a guitar strap, totally fine. Just rest it on the right leg. Otherwise, make your guitar strap super short so that you won't look cool standing up with it, and that's fine. We're not into looking cool. We just want to sound good. We can worry about looking cool later, after we sound good. I'm still trying to look cool after all these decades. Here's the other mistake guitar players in the beginning make, is that they like to lean the guitar back like this so they can see the strings better. However, this puts a huge strain on your wrist. Get the guitar to where it is like straight up and down. This makes it a little bit harder to see the strings, so you may be doing this a little, kind of leaning your neck forward to look over. That's totally fine. What we really want to get used to is being able to feel where the strings are. So whatever you do, do not hold the guitar like this. Make sure it's like this. The pick, we're going to hold the pick. By the way, this is my favorite pick. It's the Dunlop Ultex 0.73 sharp. We want something that has enough give, enough bend for when you're strumming, but also is pointed enough and thick enough for picking accuracy. And we're gonna hold the pick with the thumb and the pointer finger, kind of choke up close to the end of the pick. You don't need to be back too far. You won't have any control. So be closer. And then also, you don't need to hold the pick. Sometimes people will hold it with two fingers and a thumb, and that's okay. What I would advise against is don't hold it with your thumb and your middle finger. This is really common with beginners. I see them do that quite a bit. So go for thumb and index finger at that point. Let's practice picking the strings. Let's start with the thickest string, your low E. And what I like to do is anchor my pinky just barely on the first string, the thinnest string. So this is string 6, this is string 1, this is your lowest string, this is your highest string. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And now I'm gonna pluck that thickest string E, and then I'm gonna pluck the next string A. Then I'm gonna pluck the next string D. And then as I'm going, I'm gonna start to gently slide that pinky. My anchor is gonna move with my hand. Then string 3 G, string 2 B, string 1 E. And also notice I forgot to mention my forearm is resting on the body of the guitar right up here. So I have kind of like a 90-degree angle from my shoulder to my wrist with the elbow out here. What you do not want to do is come down here underneath. This is bad. We want to be up above to where your forearm is resting literally on top of the guitar like this, and then your hand just falls to where it's right over the strings. Okay, so now let's practice just playing string 6, the low E. I literally would set a timer for 1 minute. Super boring. But just do this for 1 minute. Then go to your A string and do that for a minute. Do that with each of your strings, and then while you're at it, you can listen for whether the notes sound good. So before we get to the fretting hand, let's talk about tuning the guitar. You can download the app Guitar Tuna. I like Guitar Tuna, but even better than that, I would recommend getting a clip-on tuner. Or if you're playing electric guitar, your guitar amplifier may have a tuner built in. So here is a little snark tuner, and you just clip it right on the headstock of your guitar, and then you turn it on. And here's the deal. When you hit that E, by the way, the names of the strings, E, A, D, G, B, E, we're gonna use the saying, Eric A. Dynamite, goodbye, Eric. So try saying that and playing it at the same time. Eric A. Dynamite, goodbye, Eric. So when you hit that low E, you should get an E right in the middle of your tuner, lighting up green for most tuners. And then if it's a little flat, which means it's too loose, it'll be red, and it'll kind of lean to your left when you're tuning. And if that's the case, if it's too loose and it's showing up as red, give it a gentle turn until it gets to E. If it's too tight, it'll show up more than likely as yellow, and then you want to loosen that to where it's in the middle green. Now, what if it shows a different letter entirely? If it's supposed to be E and it shows D, well, D is one letter lower than E. So because it's a letter before and lower, we're going to tighten it up to E. If it shows up as F, that's a higher pitch than E. You want to lower it down to E. Now, one mistake I've made is tightening my strings way too much, thinking I still need to go further. And then I end up going an octave too high. Don't worry about necessarily what that means. But you end up going to the next E tighter, and then your string busts. This will happen at some point. You will inevitably, while you're tuning your own strings, tune them way too tight. You'll bust one, and it takes a little bit of getting used to. Tuning your guitar, I think, is the most frustrating, least exciting thing about playing guitar in the beginning. I think learning how to tune your guitar with somebody else is really important when you're getting used to that. All right, now let's talk about the fretting hand. We're gonna put the thumb behind the second fret, right? These are our fret wires, these metal bars. In between are the frets where we play. So we're gonna place our index finger, by the way, 1, 2, 3, 4. Thumb doesn't count. Finger 1, your index finger. We're gonna place the tip of it. It doesn't have to be the very tip. It can be a little bit of the pad of the finger on the first fret of the thinnest string, your high E. And you don't want it just anywhere in the fret. You want it right behind the fret wire, right behind that metal bar. So now apply a little bit of pressure, and then with your picking hand anchored, we're going to pluck that note. All right, and then we can try finger 2 on fret 2, and then finger 3 on fret 3, and then finger 4 on fret 4. That's going to be your weakest finger, but you want to try that. And notice I'm not really moving my thumb on the back. My hand position is almost like I'm holding a baseball for this. Hey, so real quick, I forgot to explain how to read tablature. So the top line is your thinnest string, bottom line is your thickest string, and then this may be backwards, sorry. Number 1 is fret 1, fret 2, fret 3, fret 4. That doesn't mean use finger 1, 2, 3, 4. In this case, we are. But all that means is play that fret number. It's not telling you which finger to use. But top line, thinnest string, and then the next line down is the second string, and then all the way to your bottom line, which is your thickest string. So it's actually like, if you take your guitar, it's like looking at the guitar like this. upside down. So everything on the guitar is kind of backwards when you're learning how to read that stuff. And then you might try that on the second string as well. And again, this is not like an exercise or anything. This is just to make sure you're feeling comfortable fretting the notes. So on the second string now, push down with fret 1. And then let's try fret 2. Then fret 3 with finger 3. And then fret 4 with finger 4. Okay, all right, so there we have it. There's kind of some of your basics. Now let's get into our first chord. A chord is where you strum multiple strings at the same time. We're gonna start with the easiest chord, E minor. How this is gonna work, we're gonna have open string 6, then with finger 2 of your fretting hand, we're gonna grab the 2nd fret on the 5th string. Leave that there, and then with your 3rd finger, put it on string 4, 2nd fret. And then open, open, open. Curl the fingertips enough. You're gonna have to be a little bit more on your fingertips for this than when you play single notes. So O, 2, 2, O, 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 and strum. Now, when you read a chord chart as displayed up here, it's like looking at the guitar like this, okay? So you've got 6 vertical lines with this side being your thickest string, this side being the thinnest. When you see the open circles, that means to play an open string. And when you see the blackened circles, that means to be on a certain fret. So in this case, we have open. And then notice the first circled black dot is on the 2nd fret, 1, 2. And then on the next string, 1, 2 as well. And then we have open, open, open for the thinnest 3 strings. So that's how you read a chord chart. And for this lesson, just get comfortable making E minor, taking it off, making it again. And also another mistake beginners make is that they will just strum and they'll be like, oh, good enough, but one of my strings is blocked. So you want to make sure and do the single string test that each string is ringing clearly before you strum. Okay, now let's get to the really good stuff, your first rock guitar riff. I'm gonna give you 2 options. Just pick one. If you want to go for both, that's totally fine, but my preference is that you pick one of these and really commit to practicing it. Let's start with Seven Nation Army. This is the most iconic guitar riff of the past 30 years. Heck, maybe the past 40 years. I'm going to play it clean first, and then we'll play it with some gain. Now with some dirt. Okay, so you're going to only be using one finger for this. We're going to be on the 5th string, our A string. Find fret 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And on most guitars, that's going to be your 3rd dot. So you can commit that to memory. Instead of having to count to 7 every time, we can just go 1, 2, 3, 3rd dot. Okay? I'm going to flatten my first finger a bit and use more of the pad of my finger so that I can block some of the other strings. We'll get more into that later. But right now, just practice plucking that 7. And then again, and then count up to 10. Back to 7. Down to 5. Down to 3. Down to 2. Okay, and we're gonna go. Let's just play that first. 7, 7, 10, 7. That is the very first idea you want to work on. Just practice getting that rhythm, and then 5, 3, 2. So do that as 2 separate ideas, the first 4 notes, and then the last 3, and then work on connecting them. Okay, and then I would practice playing your E minor chord and Seven Nation Army for about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes a day for these first few days. Now, your other riff, which I really like, is The Middle by Jimmy Eat World, and it's going to go like this. Okay, so this is great for getting your picking hand motion consistent. And then also, we're practicing switching between fingers 1 and 3. So grab the 4th fret on string 4. And you're going to probably want to count this for right now. However many zeros that is, that's how many you want to count. Like that. Then we're going to go 4 to 2. So we got 4, 4, 2, 2, and then 4 on the 5th string. Like that. Okay, and I'll have the tab on screen so you can count. It's weird, I can feel it, but I don't remember exactly how many that is supposed to be. So you can count that if you need to, which you probably will need to at first. And then the ending part of it is easy. Just the open and the 4. The other reason I like this riff is because you have to practice switching back and forth between 2 strings as well as the 2 fingers. Okay, so for lesson 1, choose your riff, The Middle or Seven Nation Army. Practice that for about 5 minutes a day, nice and slow, and then your E minor chord. Get at least 10 clean reps of your E minor in every day. So all in all, shoot for about 10 minutes a day, roughly, for this first lesson. And then as soon as you're ready, move on to this one.